'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the yard not a cantor abstained from the hum of the chant. The banners were draped by the prokypsis with care, in anticipation that our Lord will soon be there. The Varangians stood guard with axes in palm, while visions of gold-plated pears nearly broke their calm, and the logothete in his turban, and I in my cap, we all took position according to rank, when atop the podium they showed the gold Persian cloth, and the curtains blew open without any sloth. Away the trumpeters blew their notes, harmonized the choir, strained their throats. The flames atop the gold-wreathed candle glinted like dawn on the royal sword's handle, when what to my dazzled eyes did emerge but a gold-sashed man with knees above the verge. Sporting a beard so pointed and matte, I knew in a moment it must be the autocrat. So deep and sonorous the acclamations they came, they hummed and whistled and called him by name. May God prolong thy reign, divinely ordered, crowned, and guarded mighty and holy, for many years. Under the light of the torch, to the dining hall, now process away, process away, process away all, as leaves that in the still air stand by, when the MC calls them on the sofa they lie. To the top of a pole the acrobats flew, to the cheers of the guest and the Basileus too, and then from the roof, in such a clatter, the shaking and ringing of each golden platter, as I turned head to where the emperor reclined, down the fruit plate swung for him to dine. His garments were symbols from his head to his foot. The tunic of his mystery was black like soot. A scroll of dirt he had clasped in his left. For the station of God he had not attempted theft. His crown, how it twinkled, the pearls so grand. His belt was a soldier's, his face well tanned. His cheeks were ruddy, a gaze full of grit, and the beard on his chin, like a fork, was split. A staff of the cross he had gripped in his right, as the candles had wreathed him in a halo of light. He had broad shoulders and a mighty chest, which glowed when he sat, like the sun at its brightest. He was regal and thunderous, one who ruled himself, and I stumbled my Polychronion in spite of myself. With a call of my rank and a tray of bread, soon gave me to know I had little to dread. He bade us many years as he presided the feast. He motioned for wine as he invited in the least, and lounging with 12 others he faced to the right, and hearing the Latin from a western knight, he called an interpreter and wished them long life. Arising to leave, I saluted to my lord's sight, as I emerged to the myrtle-filled streets this festive night. But in the depart the Hittariach's words reached my ears, O Lord, preserve him unto many years. I intended this poem to be a sort of overview of some Eastern Roman Christmas Eve traditions, with some from totally different periods mushed together. The main event described is the prokypsis, which took place in the late Empire under the Comneni and the Paleologi. As Sseudo-Kodinos, or at least someone using that name, describes, it took place in the courtyard of the Blackenai Palace on very special occasions like Christmas Eve. The court officials, wearing different hats depending on rank, like a turban or a coloured skaranikon with an image of the emperor on it, stood before a huge raised platform hidden by a curtain. When a gold inlay cloth, which apparently originated with the Medes and Persians, was waved for the 3rd time, the curtains would open, and the emperor would emerge illuminated with artificial light and holding a cross and scroll full of dirt. They were very particular about how visible everyone was in the ceremony. Only the emperor and his son could be visible up to the knees. His relatives, the despots, could only be seen up to the chest. And the lampadrios and megadomestikos, who held up the imperial candles and sword, had to be totally invisible. After a session of chanting and music from the flutes and trumpets, the emperor would climb down and everyone would go to the feast, in order of their rank of course. Often repeated during this event was the Polychronion, a wish for many years of life to the other person. When filing into the dining room, the diners would wish the emperor many years, and as they left, the emperor or one of his servants, like the Megas Domestikos, would wish many years back. My description of the feast is based on the account of Liudprand of Cremona, who talked all about acrobatic shows and pears being lowered from the ceiling with all kinds of mad contraptions. The feast was held in the Hall of 9 Couches. The Byzantines usually ate sitting down, but on occasions like Christmas, they would eat reclining in a manner Caesar would be more familiar with. Of course, the Decan Kubita was part of the old imperial palace complex, so people wouldn't have actually been reclining at the banquet after a prokypsis in the Blackenai Palace. The emperor here has the features of several different ones combined, like the forked beard often sported by the Paleologi, but most of it comes directly from one of history's greatest daddy's girls, Anna Komnene, and her slathering account of her father Alexios. This is what Christmas was, an event in the liturgical calendar. The night before the day of Nativity was for prepping the streets with myrtle and sawdust for the imperial procession, and putting on the imperial light show. The masses didn't have the same Christmas traditions we've built up today. A Visit from St. Nicholas is a poem with the point of view of an ordinary young boy. The Eastern Roman version has to be about the court and the emperor. There were no treatises written about common Christmas Eve traditions, so we can just hope the people enjoyed it, as I hope you've enjoyed yours. Merry Christmas, everyone.